Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Trogdor, and welcome to another draft analysis video. That's right, we are doing multiple leagues. You already saw, my usual garbage with the PTL and stuff, and this is the draft analysis for the UPBA. Now, before I get into all the rules, all the picks, all the fun stuff, I'm going to answer a few questions. Question number one, you're probably asking, what does the UPBA even stand for? That's a good question, and I actually don't know. It is a very heavily guarded secret that only the most enlightened people in the world have access to what this league actually stands for. So what I did is I wrote an algorithm that can actually find out what the name of the league is at any given time. So I'm just gonna pull up my shoopy doopy, what do you call it, programming stuff, and let's see what it stands for today as I run my program. It is the, I can't even pronounce that word, Erythriterator Planispiral Blabbery Arc Plutocrat. Okay, yeah, so the if you can say what this word is, the Erythriterator Planispiral Blabbery Arc Plutocrat. Okay, so yeah, that's the league that we're doing. Now for the draft itself. It is number one, Trogdor. What is a draft? How does it work? So imagine for a moment that there's only one of every single Pokemon in the entire world. Just like when you catch the legendary Pokemon, no one else is allowed to catch it. So when someone drafts one Pokemon, no one else is allowed to have it at all. Very interesting type of Pokemon battles come for that when only one person can use something really powerful like a Charizard. So combine that with 20 total people and the very slim pickings from which we are allowed to choose due to the Galar Dex being the way it is, and how Nintendo decided, haha, when we said gotta catch them all, you are a sucker, give us your money. Yeah, before I get into a rant, everyone chooses one Pokemon at a time. So it's I don't just choose my 11 favorite and then the next person chooses their 11 favorite and so on and so on. We each choose one at a time. So 20 people choosing one at a time, but it goes in an interesting order. So it goes counting like normal people do, 1, 2, 3, ... 18, 19, 20, but then it goes in reverse, 20, 19, 18. So if you're pick number 20, 20 words, numbers, how do they work? Then you make your first pick and your second pick right away. If you're pick number 1, you make your first pick and then you wait 17 years and then you make your second and third and then you wait another millennium and then you're etc. Snake order is what they call it. So I was second. I was number 2 out of 20. So mid Poke Blaster made number 1 pick, and then I get the number 2 pick. So I have to wait 18 times 2 is 36 total picks before I get to my second. And then I wait, and then mid does the wheel. That's what we call it when you get 2 picks in a row, is the wheel. And then I make my second and third. So it's I got a pretty good position overall. And being second means that I get to either have Dragapult or Urshifu Single Strike. Now, this draft is also what we call a points system, in which every single Pokemon has its entire worth determined by a number between 1 and 20. Now, a lot of Pokemon are banned, like everything that isn't in the Galar Dex, so that's already half the Pokemon completely gone. And then there are other things that are just not can't use it, like Snom, Giratina, completed Zygarde, Landorus incarnate with the sheer force ability, Calyrex, You know, basically the things that are stupidly broken. And then 20 and 19 are so powerful that we can't even use them. And then the next most powerful things are things like Aegislash and Dragapult and Tapu Lele and Zygarde and Urshifu Single Strike. Things like that. And then it goes down to basically one-pointers are things like Solrock and Palpitoad and Zweilius, you know, basically your memes. And then there's everything in between. So some things like are very, very, very good value. Some things are just kind of like I wouldn't draft that even if it was 3 points less. So there's a lot of, you know, brain thinking that has to go into making this perfect. And we got 20 people doing this all at once. You know, you have situations in which someone is going to get a Pokemon that you wanted and you're going to get kind of mad about that. So, like I said, I had the second pick, which means I'm getting either Dragapult or Urshifu. And I talked to my good buddy, Mid Pokeplaster, and I asked him, "What you want, fam?" And he said, "Definitely not Urshifu." So I was like, "Oh, cool, I get it then." So my first pick was Urshifu. Urshifu Single Strike, basically one of the most borked Pokemon in the entire metagame. Basically what it does is it clicks a button and just kind of destroys an entire team. Like, its ability allows it to go through Protect, and its signature move always crits, and it's got a stupidly good attack stat combined with a really good typing and Fighting Dark. And guys, I'm so excited to use it. Also, my nickname for Urshifu is Bear Force 1, because it's a bear. It's a force to be reckoned with, and it's number 1. It's number 1. It's gonna be the best in the world. Anyway, what does Urshifu struggle with, you might ask? It struggles with fairies because they're dumb. It struggles with things that resist dark type moves like steel types. But oh, it gets close combat. Haha, joke's on you. Anything super physically bulky. Bulky fighting types especially. Yeah, so basically chunky fairy types and chunky what do you call it? Fighting types are what does it in. But considering there are 20 total people and fewer than 20 pairs of chunky fairies and chunky fighting, you know that there are just going to be some teams where it's like, hey, I put in Urshifu. Wicked blow goes burr, basically, is what's going to happen. So I had to wait an entire week and a half. I basically went from clean shaven to a beard twice as long as this before I made my next pick, which, guys, when I show you what I've got next, you're going to be like, wait, Drogdor. There were 18 plus 18 equals 36 picks between your number 1 and your number 2. You got Urshifu, and people saw that publicly, and they didn't pick this thing. How did you, like, seriously, like, I'm looking at this, how did you get Corviknight? Yeah, that's right. Literally one of the best things in the world that can check Urshifu is mine now. It's mine. It's mine. Not only do I have Urshifu, I have one of its best checks. I have something that, you know those pesky fairy types I was talking about? Well, joke's on you. I have one of the best switch-ins to those pesky fairy types. Oh, you have Moonblast? Oh, that's cute. Watch it do like 3%. Oh, you have a fast fairy. Well, Corviknight. Like, I was not even expecting this to make it back to me. I was actually making my budget plan based on the lower version of Corviknight, our good friend Skarmory. I was actually planning everything around that. I was like, oh, cool. But I was like, wait, this thing is still here? It's mine now. It's mine. You can't take this away from me. My Corviknight. So yeah, that's the thing. So next, I had to wait instead of 17 years between my 1 pick and 2 pick, I just had to wait for mid to make picks, which, well, come on, it's mid. John's like, he's getting paid for it and doesn't know how to leave picks on the live draft site on draftleague.nl. Like, come on, that's the reason why we use this, and you can't use that feature. And then he went and got Jirachi and Togekiss, which made me physically vomit. But then I got my next pick. You remember those pesky fairies I told you about? Do you also remember those pesky fighting bulky boys that I was saying about? Now imagine that there was one Pokemon that ate both of those things for breakfast in a 1-2 punch. And that Pokemon is called Galarian Slowking. Yeah, I got it. It's mine. This... Oh, I forgot to mention Corviknight's nickname. Corviknight is... what is it? Where did I save all this stuff? I mean, I know his nickname. I just need to get the words exactly right. Boeing CH-47. I think that's the Chinook transport helicopter. Basically, super big metal helicopter. It's not quite like an Apache attack helicopter. It's like, you know, the giant, massive transport, double rotary engine helicopter. So Boeing CH-47 is Corviknight, and then Slowking Galar is, of course, Galaxy Brain, or just that feeling too smart. Because, I mean, like, head, big, Galaxy Brain. And also, me picking it was an absolute Galaxy Brain move, because, come on, it's, like, such an amazing Pokemon, and its price was pretty good, too. So now I have Urshifu, and two things that, destroy all the things that destroy Urshifu, so I'm liking this. I'm very, very pleased with the things that I have gotten so far. So I waited out the remainder of my years for my next pick, but guys, it was worth it. So after I got these three disgusting things, guess what I got next? Now imagine that there was a Pokemon that existed that if you went up against a team that had only that was missing a certain type. Like, you know how if you don't have a fairy type, dragons just haha all over it? You know how if you don't have like a rock type or an electric type, like bird spam just like takes a giant dump on your team? Now imagine that you didn't have a ground type, and now there's a Pokemon called Regieleki that just poops all over you. So Regieleki is, when I saw this thing, I was like, I basically made a dumb face. Well, you know, my face always looks dumb, but I made an extra dumb face just because of how dummy good this thing looked. 200 base speed. So it is, of course, Speedwagon. Robert E.O. Speedwagon. And it just, like, has an ability that, oh, that's a nice electric move you got there. It's twice as powerful now. Oh, you think your Scarfer can outspeed me? That's cute. Let me just Volt Switch over your entire team and get it weakened. And oh, cute ground type. It's gone now. Bye. That's basically what Speedwagon's gonna do. It's gonna look at a team, find a way to kill its ground type, and then just haha everything else. So that's Regieleki. So naturally, my next thing I had to get, you know, just like I got Urshifu, and then one of the best things to kill Urshifu, had to get Regieleki, and then one of the best things to kill Regieleki, which I got Swampert. Swampert, the Gen 3, like, one of the best Pokemon introduced in Gen 3. Which I'm going to be nicknaming Shrek 2, because, you know, Swampert, Swamp, Shrek, haha, jokes, funny, Shrek is love, Shrek is life, all that kind of stuff. Swampert gets this amazing move, which, like, I'm so glad that this move exists. Flip Turn. Like, look at this. Corviknight gets U-Turn, Galarian Slowking gets Teleport, Regieleki gets Volt Switch, Swampert gets Flip Turn. Like, hello. I love this. It's so great. Swampert also gets things like rock. It's like a water type. Did I just say rock singular? No, stealth rock. Is stealth rock singular? They have multiple rocks show up on the screen. But you say you got rocks, plural, rocks up. I got my stealth rock. I don't know. It's got rocks. It's got flip turn. It's got bulk. It's got a decent attack stat. You know, it's got a lot of things going for it. And number one, it's like, if anyone else got Swampert, they would just be like, aha, Trogdor has Regieleki. I'm bringing my Swampert. Joke's on you. Swampert's mine. I'm going to have a lot of fun with it, guys. Okay, so yeah, that was the pick I made. That was my wheel, Regieleki and Swampert. So now I'm basically going to be dumpster diving because I used up a lot of my points. However, this dumpster isn't quite as bad as you think. I think the next few picks that I got is, I'm going to start going a little bit faster because I've been talking way too much. Well, I've been talking nearly as much when I did my art show. I should have done an art show for this one, but maybe that's just a PTL only thing. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have to do an art show. So yeah, I already told you what Swampert's nickname. So next, I got an old favorite of mine. Something that served me well that I still think is exceptionally good. And that is Chandelure. So Chandelure, I thought was a bargain at 11 points. It is, you know, really strong fire type. Ghost is extremely spammable. 145 special attack, yes please. That's just like, it just spits out balls of shadow and just like, you're gone. What else does Chandelure do? It clicks button. And its nickname is going to be, I couldn't really think of a Chandelure nickname, even I've used it before, but it's like always been difficult for me to think of one. And I don't want to do one of those like everyone uses the nickname Luminaire or like Deathfire or like Demons or whatever. So I'm gonna name it Chandelure. Actually, it's Ms. Chandelure Bong. If I explain that reference to Mid, he's gonna hate me, but that's fine because apparently he just has bad taste in everything. So that was Chandelure, which is gonna be amazing for me. If Urshifu isn't my most valuable MVP, then it sure will be Chandelure. All right. Next up is, you may be noticing that I'm kind of lacking in something called a dragon, but that's fine. Sometimes it's nice to get a really, really powerful dragon, but sometimes it's fine to get a less powerful one. And if you find one for 7 points that has amazing utility, fantastic move pool, super good, well, decently good stats, amazing abilities, and you can like get that all of that for 7 points, well, you're thinking about Druddigon. Now, Druddigon, aka Dagron, is, well, exactly that. It has a lot of utility. It gets things like rocks. It can be bulky with Rocky Helmet Rough Skin. It can be offensive with Sheer Force. It can just be overall good utility, and I've used it before and I like it. It's a good dragon. It does dragon things. It can be like, you know, bulky with Dragon Tail, banded with Outrage, a lot of things. So I thought getting that like really started to round things out. Like, of course, every team when you're building it has, like, you get your first 3 picks and you're like, this is amazing, which, you know, I thought. But then you notice, like, oh, there are problems. And then every time you put a band-aid on those problems, blood starts leaking out the side, so you have to put another band-aid on top of that. And basically it's like each band-aid you get is smaller than the previous one, but you want to get the band-aid that like fits the best. Like if there's something wrong, like if there's a big scratch, bad analogy. Basically, Drudagon was the perfectly sized band-aid for me. Drudagon Dagron. So, remember how I mentioned that I had to like go dumpster diving? Well, imagine that compared to like after getting like Urshifu Corviknight Slowking, I went into like the most greasy dumpster in Midtown after like a weekend of nonstop bar crawls. Now the dumpster I am about to go in to get the rest of my picks makes that one look like just a luxury buffet at one of those schwanky restaurants inside the plaza where the cheapest glass of wine is like $27 and it's only like that much like port, and port is actually kind of disgusting. Oh wait, no, didn't I get Pinot Grigio that time? No, yeah, I did. Yeah, somehow their Pinot was like the cheapest wine on that menu. It was delicious though. But that was like the last holiday before lockdown started, so if I wanted to ever go to the bar at the plaza again, well, I'm going on tangents. Basically, this next dumpster is going to be interesting. But I still managed to look through enough of this next dumpster to find some absolute gems. The next thing I got was Tauros. Tauros for 5 points. Or if you count with binary, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Yeah. Oh yeah, YouTube's gonna demonetize me for using the middle finger, but in hand binary this is 4, 5, 6, 7. You get it. 5 points, Tauros, which is exceptional value. Tauros, I got it mostly for the speed tier. 110 base speed, which at this point actually makes it my second fastest thing. It isn't the greatest, and there's a massive gap between 110 and 200. And then I've got like 97 Urshifu, 80 Swampert, 65, or 80 Chandelure, 60 something Swampert. Glowking is like 12. My speed tiers are not the greatest. Usually I want to have like very evenly spaced speed tiers and not like these massive gaps. And I know when Moose does the power rankings, he's gonna give me some naughty points for not having good speed tiers. But I'm just gonna remind him that I have Urshifu to click buttons. So I got Tauros. Ferdinand the Tauros, or if I could space it, Ferdinand von Eyre. You know, gotta have a Fire Emblem nickname in there somewhere. But yeah, Ferdinand the Tauros is exceptional. It's fast, it hits hard, and that's another Sheer Force user. Oh wow, I got 2 Sheer Force users back to back. I firmly believe that Life Orb is the worst item to run in draft, because a lot of plans, your opponent relies on just getting that little bit of chip damage to turn like a 3-hit KO into a 2-hit KO, and sometimes they just need like a round or 2 of rocks to get an Oko. But it's like, oh, you're doing them a favor by losing 10 to 20% of your health, and I can switch in a super bulky thing, and you're taking more damage from Life Orb than you're doing to me. It's just dumb. Use Expert Belt, use Choice Band, use Scarf. I don't like Life Orb. And if you like it, cool. I'll be happy to beat you. However, I will use it on Tauros because Sheer Force negates Life Orb recoil, which is just kind of amazing. That's what makes this ability, because I get the 30% on top of 30%, so I get times, no, it's 1 times 1.3. No, that's like a 70% boost. Well, yeah, it's 1.69. Well, according to Python, it's 1.6900000000000002. Because binary round off error is stupid, but yeah. So I get a 70% boost just by having an ability and an item. Okay, so next I was looking through the dumpster and I found something, and I was actually convinced that this isn't a huge pile of trash and is actually worth the 5 points. I got Thwacky. I got Bonk the Thwacky. Now, Thwacky is interesting. It's my only grass type, and it gets grassy terrain. I don't have any terrain abusers, but I do have things that like the residual recovery. I do have things that appreciate earthquake doing less damage. And yeah, Thwacky's honestly not bad. Eviolite can be bulky. Again, it's mostly for the terrain. And it, like, you know, goes bonk, 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 bonk. I think it'll be fun, honestly. It's no Rillaboom. I mean, Rillaboom's actually, like, top tier in this draft. Well, okay. 16 points is... It's pretty good. It's up there. So, I'm looking at my draft and I realized after all my rummaging through the waste bin, I actually had quite a few points left over, which surprised me. I was like, wait a minute, I've got still 20 points for 3 picks? Well, okay, I didn't have to get 3 picks. I had to get 10 to 12. That was another rule that I forgot to mention. Like, some drafts require that you get 11 because it's like, we have determined through science that 11 is the best. Well, why not 10? Why not 12? Maybe for tier-based drafts, but I think tiers are bad. It's kind of arbitrary. It's like, you can't have all these... even in tier 1, you have all these things, but some are way better than the others, but they're the same points. Like, I know it's harder to price everything individually, but it just makes everything much more balanced, and you can get as many shitmons as you want. So I'm looking at, like, I can get as big of a bandit as I want to patch whatever I need to. So I'm looking at what I don't have, and I'm considerably lacking a fairy type, which is like, hopefully no one drafted Regidrago, because then I just get like dragon energied. So I have looked for the most expensive fairy type on the menu, and I found Azumarill. Now, Azumarill is not as good as it was in its past glory days. Back in the day of Z Belly Drum, which, don't get me wrong, that was amazing, and I loved using Azumarill. Even though I'm still mad about that one game where Azumarill just like 6-0'd like it was nothing, and then I got a stupid burn from, what was it, Flame Body, after a stupid Volcarona was running Tailwind instead of Quiver Dance, which was just like confusing. So it's like, by all means, Azumarill should have just 6-0'd that team, but instead I barely squeaked out a 1-0. Azumarill is still amazing though. I'm doubling up on water types, I know, but between Swampert and Azu, they don't really share weaknesses, as far as I'm aware, because Azumarill can have the Sap Sipper ability. It's not the best, it's not nearly as good as Huge Power, but it's still there. And Azumarill can do more than just run Choice Band and click Aqua Jet, even though that's objectively the best thing it can do, but, you know, it's got some other options. And Azumarill, wow, words, I can't, words right now. Azumarill will be nicknamed Bubblegum, because it's, yeah. Okay, so now I'm really shuffling through the garbage bin, and I just so happened to find Shuckle. That was my next pick, is Shuckle, which, haha, Shuckle, funny. Yeah, but you know what, I just wanted another rocker. Like, having 2 rockers is fine, but if I can also just have another one in my back pocket, that's great. Shuckle also gets Sticky Web, which is something that I just like to have on my team, even if I'm not relying on that strategy all the time. It's there. And I think Shuckle is unique. Besides Smeargle, it gets both webs and rocks. So that's great. I don't have a nickname for Shuckle yet, though, which is kind of weird. Normally, I would be able to find a very funny nickname. So that's 11 picks. We got 1 point left over. I was going to consider just like, you know what, draft done. That's it. It's beautiful. It's perfect. But then, I don't know. Mid was just like wanted to troll me or something, so he just put Yamper on my team. Which, I get it, mascot pick, because yeah, my team name is the Yampers, because Yamper is objectively the best Pokemon ever. Can you see any of the corgis in my background? There are. Oh yeah, there's one. There's one of my corgis. I have corgi all over my office and my apartment. Where's another? Yeah, there's one right there. Where do I have more corgis? And I'm not gonna go around looking for all my corgis. Oh wait, can we see that the corgi pencil case or? Yeah, corgis are great. Yamper is great. It's fun. Oh yeah, you can definitely see my corgi. Oh, wrong hand. Corgi pencil case right there. Corgis. Anyway, that's the draft. This is gonna be fun. My first battle will be up against someone I've always wanted to battle, which is cool. And there are lots of fun people in this league. And if you have any, like, you know, decency, you'll, you know, do YouTube stuff like giving a thumbs up to this video, subscribing, because like I'm not just doing this league, I'm doing like 2 others. Crazy, I know. What am I supposed to do with all this time on my hands? Well, I don't know. Somehow I'm still really busy despite having an entire week off of work because of how weird and ridiculous everything is. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be back with you know, my week 1 team builder and battle probably next week. So that's cool. All right. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.